And welcome back to Conservative News Channel on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to revisit Michigan. If you'll remember back during the primaries, I had told you that if John James won, this state would probably go red. And I explained all the reasons that I thought it was going to be red. Today we're going to take another look at it because blue is probably not the correct color. And we need to talk about why. As you can see, RCP has this as a dark blue, guaranteed Democrat. But let's go ahead and click on it and see what's changing. Okay, as I had mentioned, John James, African American, businessman, has created jobs. He is a pro-Trumper. Debbie Stabenow, as we all know, voted against Kavanaugh. If you look at these polls, you'd say to yourself, wow, Mitch, why are you even considering revisiting this? She has stayed over 50%. He has stayed in the 30s and 40s. The most recent poll, Stabenow +9. Well, what I have come to find out is whenever the Matrix wants to lie to you and tell you a candidate's safe when they're not, what they do is they explain to you that it's a registered voter poll and not a likely voter poll, as if they would really be different. The fact of the matter is these polls are pretty much meaningless. Let me show you my proof that that is the case. Just ran into this article, as you can see, October the 12th, today it was written or published. And it talks about that last poll with Stabenow with a 9-point lead over James. And they even use the word overwhelmingly favored opponent. Then it goes on to talk about how John James has managed to pull in over $3 million where Stabenow's only gotten $1.5 million. Well, as soon as I got to that point, I started realizing nobody throws money at a race unless they think they can win it. When it comes to fake polls, most in the media probably, and in this case, I believe he does know that those polls are fake. Let's read this particular paragraph. And it's clear that the Stabenow campaign is growing increasingly concerned. Why? She's over 50%. She's got a 9-point lead. Their focus has shifted away from broad appeals to Michigan voters and towards a narrative that the Republican Party wants to penalize Americans with pre-existing health conditions. It's a basic fear strategy devoid of factual foundation, but one they hope will be enough to shut down James's lead. Wait a minute, James's lead? Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. A Freudian mistake. The real polls, the likely voter polls, put James ahead, or he wouldn't have done this. Let's go ahead and look at the next line. You got Kid Rock coming to campaign for James. And basically the negative advertising they're saying is to stop him from catalyzing his recent approval. I'm guessing what's happened is polling since the Kavanaugh hearing has swung in James's favor, and they're hoping to rapidly swing it back with fears of health care. I don't think so. The fact of the matter is, if you'll remember my original conversation and my expectation that this state would go red, the reason here, Wayne County, largest number of votes in the state, 40% African American. Now, based on recent polling, we know that 36% of this group is shifting to the mega Trump train, and plus, this gentleman being black, I'm sure there are a lot of African Americans that may not be changing parties that will change to John James on Election Day and split their ticket. As a result, this 66.8% is incredibly important to keep this state from being red. You can see all the other districts, most of them are all red. Just those few. Let's go ahead and take a look at population. 1.7 million people, 66%. And look up here, Trump won the state, even losing 66%. James is going to knock this down. James is going to knock this down. James is going to knock this down. Just like Trump, James is going to be our next victor. So let's go back to our chart. Let's go to Wisconsin. I was so glad I found this today because I've been feeling so bad for James. I really thought he was going to pull it off, and the numbers just weren't coming. But as of what we know today, since Kavanaugh, he has now taken the lead, and we push Michigan from Democrat to Republican. And as you can see, according to my tally, we now have 60 Republicans, 39 Democrats, and 1 toss-up. Again, I look forward to the day after Election Day to compare my map to RCP's map, where right now they have 50 Republicans, 44 Democrats, and 6 toss-ups. According to their map, the best the Republicans do is 56. Let's watch what happens on Election Day, ladies and gentlemen. I think we're all going to be pleasantly surprised if we get out and vote. Don't let any good news convince you that you don't need to go to the polls. You do. We have to vote in strength. We are the silent majority, no more. We are now the voting majority. And I'll see you there on November the 6th at the polls. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, I wish you all a wonderful day, and God bless, and please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.